All right, let's talk about the state's unemployment fund. The Illinois legislature chose to leave a $1.8 billion shortfall in the state's unemployment fund and instead use the one-time federal government bailout money for other purposes. What are your plans to eliminate this deficit over time to minimize the effects on Illinois employers and workers?
Well, sadly enough, we have no choice in that. Here's what's going to happen this fall. SUTA and FUTA unemployment rates, employers, they're going to probably double. And if you get laid off, your benefits are probably going to decrease by 20%. We stood up, the Republicans did, and fought for that entire debt to be paid off because we could have paid it off. And Governor Pritzker and the Democrats chose not to. They chose to create new programs and spend the money elsewhere. It is imperative that we get our unemployment fund under control. Again, another reason not to come to Illinois and start a business. It is going to devastate business. And I want to go back one more time to the property tax question because I'm looking at the fire chief over here. You know, we've got to be careful until we find a new mechanism of funding our police departments, our fire departments, our libraries. We're going to have to be careful what we do with the property taxes.
First, what I wouldn't do, and I'm sure Paul wouldn't either, is take money from someone else and then claim that you have balanced a budget with it. Because we all know that money is very limited as to how many cycles we're going to see it for. And he has claimed that, JB has claimed that the budget's balanced. We can spend more money because it's going to keep coming in. That's not going to happen. Illinois doesn't have a revenue problem. We have a spending problem. We need to evaluate the programs that it's being spent on and utilize it for those that are critical. And that was one thing that vote, and as Darren again mentioned, was that all Republicans had supported using it to pay off, and they used the money to expand government rather than shrink government, which is what we should be doing.
Okay, so bottom line is this. You guys need to talk to any of your Democrat friends out there to understand what this guy's doing. He's saying that we've done great things, we're in better shape. He's totally wrong, all right? On this one subject of unemployment, we had a $1 billion nest egg, like every state should have our size, for unemployment, $1 billion. We burned that up. We loaned $4.5 billion from the federal government, and then we paid off a little more than half of that, okay? And now small businesses and employees are going to pay the price, all right? So when he talks about we're in better shape, that over $2 billion there, $2.5 billion there or more is an example of how we went backwards in this administration. Even as we took on about $18 billion directly to our state and about $180 billion indirectly of extra money in our state, we still didn't pay this off. One of the only states in America. So when people talk about, oh, it's better than it was, tell them bullshit, all right?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got to first ask, how did we deplete our unemployment fund? I'll tell you, I remind you, remember the pandemic? That's what happens. Oh, yeah. That's what happens when J.B. Pritzker told you and I to stay at home, shut down our businesses, shut down our schools, shut down our livelihoods, and then send us government money. We don't want government money. We want our own money. We can work. Just get us back to work. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna replenish the unemployment fund, and we're gonna get back together. We're gonna get Illinois back on track. One more point really quickly on property taxes. There's too many government agencies vying for your tax dollars. We need to consolidate. With over 7,000 units of government in Illinois, we need to bring that under control.